Hello everyone and welcome once again to OBERÁ. We are in the north of Argentina, at the north of Misiones province, towards the northeast end of the country, close to the border with Paraguay and Brazil, for race number 2 of TCR South America. In this track that is welcoming us once again now for race number 2, following the last race of the weekend, with 15 entrants and everything set here in the beautiful landscapes of Misiones. Loads of yerba mate seeding in here, the most popular infusion from South America, is growing pretty much in here around this country. OBERÁ means the shiny in Guarani language, the typical language of Paraguay, alongside the official Spanish in the country. This town, founded in 1928 and this circuit opened in 1992, is hosting us with a bit warmer temperatures than previously in the opening race, in race number 1, that was tightly won by Leonel Pernilla. We are now heading into the second race with the reverted grid that will leave us with Santino Ballerini and Fabrizio Pezzini in the front row. Luis Ramirez, the driver from Panama, will start in third. We have the debut of Enzo Gianfratti in this race, the young Brazilian driver that came from the Brazilian TN Championship and with some experience in GT4 racing in his country. With the arrival of Port Hack Racing, a new team that joins in the grid. Midday is now there, and we have the cars forming up on the grid. We have car number 95, the car of Santino Ballerini, the only Toyota left in Palladini Racing. Only one of the 2 Toyotas that are remaining. We have it in the first and in the last spot on the grid, as Marianin Kotter is at the back. This is Rafael Reis putting on his helmets. The Brazilian driver. The 41-year-old from OBERÁ. This is Enzo Gianfratti, the Brazilian rookie, making his debut this weekend. Diego Pernilla now sitting in his car. This is the grid lining up. Sunny midday with pretty different conditions to what we have in the race number 1 that was with a much colder temperature. People bring in the atmosphere. Loads of families having the typical asado, typical Argentinian barbecue. And now we're awaiting the final minutes for the race. As the grid is slowly
Muy
clearing
buenas tardes,
up.
boa tarde para
hear
los
from,
amigos de
our
Brasil.
pit
Aquí
reporter,
estamos
Mariano
dispuestos a
Colombo.
largar la carrera número 2 del TCR South America
We're
Banco
starting race
BRB
number
desde el
2.
Autódromo Ciudad de Oberá en la
Behind him is
provincia de
Santino
Misiones.
Ballerini.
La primera vez que la categoría visita
first time
aquí esta hermosa
TCR South
provincia y
America
mientras se entrega
visits
un
this province
reconocimiento a
in
las
the
autoridades de la
northeast of
ciudad y del
Argentina.
autódromo.
We have some local
Aprovechamos para
authorities.
hablar con quien va a largar en la primera posición por primera vez en la categoría, Santino Ballerini con el Toyota
We'll
del
hear
Paladini.
from,
Santino
Santino Ballerini
imagino,
now.
obviamente con las ganas, con la
Santino,
posibilidad de
we
ratificar
guess
esta primera posición con una
A
victoria.
big desire of
Sí, la verdad que sí,
confirming
bueno,
this
es una
potential.
oportunidad poder estar ganando primero en mi segunda carrera del TCR.
I'm really happy to start it.
Así que
following
nada,
my
contento.
second event.
Vamos a dar lo mejor, a defender la posición.
We'll
Circuito
give our
muy
best and
difícil de
defend our
pasar.
position.
Así que bueno, sé que los otros autos son mejores, pero nada, creo que
We have a better cars around.
Santino Ballerini que larga
We'll
desde la
try
primera
to stay
posición
and
y voy a
survive.
tratar también de...
Loads of tents, the typical picture in South America in a circuit. Tents, grills, loads of steak, some drinks, and enjoying motorsports. That smoke you see is from grills, which families carry. Here we have Gennaro Raceto, another of the newcomers of the series. Raceto had to pull out from Q2 yesterday as he suffered a problem in his front splitter. As we fly through the starting grid. As we now have all the cars lining up on the grid, and we will start in a matter of minutes this race. "30 minutes and one lap." .7 kilometers in this track. This is Thiago Pernia, who starts from 8th place. This is the reverse grid race that has Ballerini starting on pole. Next to him on the right side of your screen is Fabrizio Pezzini on the Cupra. We stop with Lionel Pernia's car, the pole sitter of yesterday's qualifying session. And the three nations that have been carrying TCR South America ahead. Of course, some other nations have been represented. We have Panama on the grid. We had Mexico last year with Jay Cosio entering the race. We had Peru as well, as you can see the flag there, with Rodrigo Flucker in the past. Paul Holton from Canada. Carlos Okulovic, a touring car icon from Argentina, born here in this province. Let's have a look at the starting grid. As we have Santino Ballerini on pole position in the Toyota of Paladini Racing. Fabrizio Pezzini from W2 Pro GP is starting in second. Then we have Luis Ramirez in third. Peugeot of PMO Racing, the driver from Panama. Juan Angel Rosso starts in 4th. He had to serve a penalty in race 1 and started from the bottom, made up some places. Rafael Reis starts in 5th place with the Cooper of W2 Pro GP, followed by Fabian Gianantoni in 6th. Teammate to Juan Angel Rosso. Pedro Cardoso, the reigning champion, is in 7th. Starts in ahead of Thiago Pernilla, who finished in 4th in race 1. 9th place for Nelson Piquet Jr., who avoided collisions and contact with Pedro Cardoso in race 1. Lionel Pernilla, winner of race 1, starts in 10th after setting pole position yesterday. Mariano Pernilla in 11th, followed by Gennaro Rasetto with the Peugeot from PMO Racing. Adrian Chiriano leading the TCR Trophy Pack for Honda YPF Racing, followed by the Port Hack Racing entry with the newcomer Enzo Gianfratti, and Marian Incoter with the Toyota from Cobra Racing, starting in 15th. Closing the grid, we are already on the formation lap. And we have now cars arriving into the grid. Flores Rasetto. Gennaro Rasetto starting in 12th. Now everything is set for race number 2. Green flag waving in the background. We are starting now the race as we had a car stopped in the back. I think it was car of Nelson Piquet as Ballerini makes it into pole position in the outside. We have the car of Luis Ramirez trying to gain up some places. In second we have Juan Angel Rosso. Reis jumps into third, tries to combat with Ramirez, who survives in third place. Behind are the two Cupras of Pezzini and Rafael Reis. Lost contact after Piquet stopping on the grid as we go on board with Reis. Now being overtaken with Pezzini ahead of him, as now we have a double 1-2 for Palladini Racing. Here are all the cars taking the first sector. Pedro Cardoso trying to catch Rafael Reis, moving up some spot from 7th. You see also Lionel Pernilla, who started from 10th place. 15 cars coming out unhurt, as here Santino Ballerini is on his way to complete the first lap, leading for the first time in this series, followed by Juan Angel Rosso. Closing the first lap, OBERÁ Ballerini is leading ahead of Juan Angel Rosso. Ramirez remains in third. Here's Nelson Piquet Jr., who struggled in the start of the race. Something must have gone wrong in his car. Ramirez in third. Then is Pezzini in fourth position, followed by Reis, closing the top 5. Cardoso moved up to 6th place, ahead of Thiago Pernilla, Gianantoni, Lionel Pernilla, and Mariano Pernilla, the siblings. Pezzini stays in fourth. Behind him is Rafael Reis. His teammates, as Piquet Jr. has had to come into the pit lane. There is a Rasetto in 11th place, as we had now some trouble for Piquet. Cars are completing the second lap of the race. The gap was 1.0 seconds between Ballerini and Rosso. We'll see. Now it's down to 0.8 of a second. Race resisting ahead of Cardoso. Very calm opening lap. Following the highlights of the start, which was Piquet dropping back. His first lap was really slow. He lost almost 20 seconds in the last sector. 8 seconds in sector 2 in his first lap, so that means certainly that he was having some kind of issue in his car. This is Ballerini ahead of Rosso, leading the 1-2. The Toyota and Lincoln Co for Palladini Racing. The Peugeot in third and a Cupra in fourth. We have 4 brands in the first 4 places. And then in 7th we have the best Honda. As far as now it's Thiago Pernia. We have Santino Ballerini once again leading the race, closing the second lap of the race. Rosso is 6/10 behind. We'll see if there is any in order to protect the results, as they are really important points for Palladini Racing. Race battling with Pezzini. The teammates battle. Ramirez seems to be comfortable in third as far as now, trying to put pressure on Juan Angel Rosso. He completed the first 5 laps of the race, first 5 minutes of the race. Almost on board with race. Ballerini leading comfortably, as he seems to have pulled away a bit more from Rosso. In the second sector he opened the gap half a second. And then Rosso cut it 2/10 in the last sector, so it's now 0.8 of a second between the two. Ramirez is 7/10 behind, and now Ramirez is resisting a bit more with the Cupras behind. Rosso trying to leave the Panamanian driver behind in second. As we had Piquet retiring from the race, so we have 14 cars on track. Minutes remaining in the race. Gianantuoni following Pernia, Thiago Pernia for 7th place. The cars are once again getting on track. Santino Ballerini, the 21-year-old from Argentina, turned 21 last month, is leading the race. Ballerini and Rosso. Leading the race for Palladini Racing. In third is Ramirez from Panama. The order hasn't been touched since the opening lap. But as we saw in race number 1, let's give some time, as that might lead us to some interesting action, as it was the case in the first race early in the morning. As we have all the cars going through, there is a big gap between Rasetto and the TCR Trophy leader right now. Enzo Gianfratti. Almost a second and a half of gap in the pace between the two groups of cars. As Nelson Piquet Jr. came back on track, but he's 2 laps down actually. He was retired from the race, but now he is back. Ballerini leading from Rosso, 0.7 of a second. Everything is very, very tight in OBERÁ. .114.7 was the last lap by the leader. 114.8 set by Rosso and Ramirez. Pezzini was 114.6. 14.6 also Race. 14.7 Cardoso. 14.5 Thiago Pernilla, as Rasetto catches Mariano Pernilla for 10th place and overtakes him. Ballerini now once again, as the cars go jumping into the curves. Cardoso seems to be a bit more careful when it comes to taking that last chicane. Ballerini closing one more lap. 6 laps. Now completed. 6 laps scratched out. 21 minutes remaining on the clock. 30 minutes plus 1 lap in this race in OBERÁ. Francisco Aure, it's a pleasure to be with you, sharing the TCR South American Championship. Argentina, Uruguay and Brazil comprising the calendar as it's been since the very beginning of the tournament. Rosso is 0.6 of a second behind. Here are all the drivers going through. 0.5 of a second now between Rosso, from Rosso to Ballerini. Similar gap. Oh, Ninkotter is out. Let's see if this brings any safety car whatsoever. Maria Ninkotter retiring from the race. So Piquet once again out of the race. We are down to 13 cars, and there is the attempts. Battling, there was Fabian Gianantoni, and I think it was Leonel Pernilla trying to overtake him. Oh, we had a car going through the gravel. As there is Maria Ninkotter trying to climb out. That was the last. Oh, trouble for Thiago Pernilla, slowing down. We saw him, I think we saw him running out. Oh, Ninkotter. Oh no, this is so dangerous move by Maria Ninkotter. I'm afraid to say that was reckless by the 18-year-old. Heading back on track when the whole group of cars was on its way back, and Ramirez defending from Pezzini. This is what happened. Oh, she ran wide. That is fine, but she didn't see the whole group of cars coming, and also she wasn't alerted by his pit crew either. There is Mariano Pernilla retiring from the race as well in the garage. So as things are, we are down to 12 cars. Now the cars once again And this barely had consequences. But this was such a dangerous movement from Marianin Kotter. Could have been a really big disaster on track. Let's see if we have a replay here. Well, this is what happened with Thiago Pernia and Fabian Gianantuoni. There was a slight contact and Pernia had to go wide. Yeah, making his way slowly on track. Mariano Pernia is out of the race as well, unfortunately. Both him and Piquet, that's Cardoso chasing race for the 5th position. Now, one more lap completed. We are crossing almost the half of the race. Fabrizio Pezzini has the record in his power, 1:14.18. But as we saw in race 1, even with cooler temperatures, the car's energy ran out quickly. Tire degradation seemed to be a bit high as the lap times went up by a couple of seconds in a single race. Combo with race in 5th place. Here's Ballerini leading the race. One more lap down in the order. As you can see, the pace is very, very similar between all the drivers. "15 minutes in." Ballerini, Rosso, Ramirez. Top 3, Pezzini is in 4th, Reis in 5th, Cardoso in 6th, Leonel Pernia, Gianantuoni, Rasetto, Thiago Pernia, the top 10, then Gianfratti and Ciriano. Marianin Kotter remains on the race, but a lap down already. We have the whole group of cars. We have the top 9 in 4 seconds. It's a really interesting race we're watching, very tight. And Gianantuoni trying to have a look at the inside of Leonel Pernia for 7th place. It's a very tight race, but keeping behind a bunch of cars sometimes can increase and heat up your car. Pedro Cardoso needs to recover as he needs to cut the difference to Leonel Pernia on the standings. We have a train of 9 cars, and it depends on who loses patience in first. Cardoso is there trying to beat Rafael Reis and to overtake him for 5th place, but now he has to go up with Leonel Pernia, as Pernia now goes for Cardoso's position. Battle for 6th place between the 2 standings leader, and from behind is Fabian Gianantuoni also considering options and see what he can do with the fishing rod extended. There's Gian Antuoni, yeah, overtaking Pernilla. This didn't go well for the tournament leader, as Raceto is also trying to take advantage of a perhaps not so quick coming out of the last turn. And Gennaro Raceto was trying to survive and to overtake Leonel Pernilla for 8th, but he couldn't. Santiago Pernilla is also reaching back. Pernilla was 1.2 seconds faster than Ballerini. This really shows how Ballerini is slowing down. They are all suffering with the same, so keep your head down. That was the radio communication, I guess, for Luis Ramirez. And Reis battling with Pesini. Reis needs to stay ahead of Cardoso. But there is Pedro Cardoso. And to overtake Reis or to get advantage from the battle between the two Cupras. Cardoso, the standings leader. There is Ballerini, Rosso, and Ramirez. Top 3. Let's see the replay on board. Reis had to stand over the brake pedal, but then he did a very slow turn. The top 3: Ballerini, Rosso, and Ramirez. Ramirez also trying to have a look at the inside of Juan Angel Rosso and see if he can do something. Whoever loses patience or loses control in first will cause the carnage. We have the top 10 in 6.2 seconds. We see this is very, very tight. Car jumping on the curbs. For some reason, Juan Angel Rosso's wipers are on. Here is our top 10. All complete on screen. Cardoso also trying to make a move on a race for 5th place, but still without succeeding. Not much of a attacking from Rosso to Ballerini as far as now. Let's see what happens. Santino Ballerini was running in 5th in the opener in Rosario in race 2, and he suffered a last-minute crash. There is Reis, and yeah, Reis runs wide. Cardoso made the move. Oh, contact with Pedro Cardoso. We'll see if he can survive. Gian Antuoni wanted to make his profits as he overtook Cardoso. We'll see in what condition is the car of the reigning champion, but it was until something like this happened. The top 4 remains untouched with Pesini, but then now Gian Antuoni is now in 5th after overtaking Reis and Cardoso. Cardoso is in 6th. And I think Rafael Reis took the worst part, that he has lost many places. Gian Antuoni up in 5th, Cardoso in 6th, Leonel Pernilla in 7th, and Reis now down to 8th place. And we'll see both Cardoso and Reis in what condition are their cars. The replay. Reis, Cardoso was going through the inside, clean move, but Reis runs wide and brakes on the dirt. Perhaps he couldn't avoid. And now it's Rosso. Mauricio Pesini wants to challenge Ramirez for a podium, but he couldn't do it in the whole race. 8 minutes. Valerini, Rosso, Ramírez, Pesini, Gianantuoni, Cardoso, Leonel Pernilla, Reis, Rasetto, and Thiago Pernilla is the full order now. The difference has been compressed into 4.4 seconds. Gennaro Rasetto now seems to be losing some terrain. Pesini battling as Gianantuoni overtakes him for 4th place. Perhaps it's Gianantuoni the one who has the better pace. And ahead is Ramirez. Could this be a 1-2-3 for Palladini Racing? Let's see what Gianantuoni does as he's already in 4th place, and now the Panamanian Luis Ramirez is ahead of him. Ballerini and Rosso have been 1st and 2nd all the race. The same for Ramirez in 3rd since the very start of the race.
Que no me complique tanto. O sea, que seamos vivos. Si podemos ganarla, la ganemos. Ok.
Tell him not to put us in trouble, says Juan Angel Rosso. That was Rosso's voice from his car. Let's be smart, and if we can win it, let's win it, he said to his engineer. There is Gennaro Rasetto. It's a very slow race, and I think there is where Rosso will go for the win ahead of Ballerini. Gianantuoni having a look at the inside of Ramirez for 3rd place. Will he do it? I think he will. Gianantuoni jumping up to 3rd place. Oh, there's a slight contact, and Gianantuoni's off. Fabian Gianantuoni's off. Oh, this could be dangerous when he comes back, and he stays on the grass, thankfully. A re-entrance to the track would have been really, really dangerous, and we've had already enough scenes of that, but unfortunate, it won't be a 1-2-3 for Palladini Racing, as Gianantuoni had the contact, and now Cardoso is in 3rd. Cardoso will see what's happened with Ramirez, as Pedro Cardoso is now in 3rd place, and he will capitalize as the safety car comes out, and this protects the whole victory for Palladini Racing. Cardoso managed to overtake Ramirez for 3rd, and in the restart anything can happen. With a green flag race, Cardoso for sure would have taken advantage of the slightly conservative pace of the two Palladini cars, the Palladini Racing cars. This is the replay. There was a contact between Ramirez and Gianantuoni. Well, this is... I think something was wrong in the rear left wheel. Let's see the onboard from Rafael Reis and see if we can get any clear picture of this. As you can see, Gianantuoni's car is with some problem as the rear left suspension is broken. That was really dangerous. The rear left wheel of Gianantuoni broke, the suspension broke, so his wheel was pointing to anywhere.
Ahí está azul, dale vuelta.
El 1-2.
Ahí está bien.
A ver, que el 1-2 no sé si va a pasar. Únicamente puede pasar el 1-2 si estoy yo acá atrás. ¿Me entendés? Él viene muy mal, viene muy mal.
Ballerini is not well. We can only make the 1-2 if I am behind, says Juan Angel Rosso. And that means that it's very likely that Ballerini could not resist too much against Pedro Cardoso, as we have the whole package of cars now together. We have 13 cars, 12 cars. As now the green flag is again waving. It was a good start, favored by Rosso's teamwork, so Ballerini could have an advantage. We'll see if there's anything to investigate. Pernia, in the meantime, has a look at the inside of Pezzini, trying to jump up, and there is a slight contact between the cars also. Oh, and Reis battling with Pernia too. All the action spicing up in the last minutes, just like we had in race 1. Pernia is now in 5th place, 6th place, ahead of Reis. And Diego Pernia is also on the hunt for a spot, and Gennaro Rasetto doesn't want to be left apart. It's a really rough action in the last minutes of the race. In the meantime, Santino Ballerini keeps leading, as he did throughout the whole race. The same for Juan Angel Rosso, in second since the start, and after the trouble with Fabian Gianantuoni. Pedro Cardoso is now in 3rd, Ramirez in 4th, then Pezzini, Leonel Pernia, Reis, Thiago Pernia, and Rasetto. As all the cars are heading once again into the main straights. Ballerini keeps leading. The gap with Rosso will be really close, just 1/10 of a second. I'm sure Ballerini wants to win this race. Juan Angel Rosso, being the team's leader or the first driver of the team, will not withstand just in second. And the one who wants to take advantage of this is Cardoso. Pedro Cardoso is there trying to go through the inside and see if he can overtake Juan Angel Rosso. So 1, 2, 3, and anybody can win it. Will it be Ballerini? Will it be Rosso? Will it be Cardoso? Loads of action here in OBERÁ, and Cardoso wants to go through the outside and round in the outside and see if he can get a better speed, but he couldn't, and Rosso resists in second place, as we will head into the last lap of the race, because the clock will tick down to 0 before we make it into the main straights. And 30 minutes have passed. We will enter the last lap of the race. Really vibrating race. Ballerini, Rosso, Cardoso, then Ramirez, who will get his best results. And now it's Rosso heading into the lead. Will he do? I think he will. Ballerini will not put any more resistance. And Juan Angel Rosso jumps into the lead of the race in the last lap. We'll see what Cardoso can do with Ballerini. Ballerini shouldn't be as a hard task as it was with Rosso. There is Cardoso heading into second, and Ballerini has to settle down with third. There won't be a 1-2 for Palladini Racing. And will Cardoso do any miracle? We'll see. He was very close in race number 1. And some trouble is with Thiago Pernia's car, I think. So we have the 12 cars remaining in the race. Rosso, Cardoso, and we'll see if Ballerini can resist, as Ramirez wants a podium. Right in the last part. Oh, contact! Loads of contact, and I think Ramirez is out. I think Luis Ramirez is out. And Ballerini is now in third. Pernia, Leonel Pernia wants a podium also with OBERÁ. And Ballerini is trying to resist. Ramirez has left with the empty hands after resisting all the race in third, and Leonel Pernia wants to go for the podium, and this would be a miracle for race 1 winner. Pernia is there, and yeah, Ballerini is losing terrain, battling with his car, and Leonel Pernia will be on the podium as Juan Angel Rosso wins, Cardoso in second, and a miracle third place for Leonel Pernia, minimizing all the damage. Ballerini ended up in fourth, Pezzini in fifth, and Reis in sixth place. This was a last lap carnage in OBERÁ, just like we had in race 1. Everything would arrive by the end of the race. Loads of cars harmed, and poor Ramirez was so close to get a podium. Just a handful of laps before he was in the podium. Thiago Pernia couldn't make it to the end either, or barely could. The safety car changed the whole perspective of the race. This was such a frantic ending of the race. Juan Angel Rosso celebrates a win, but I'm sure this was far from what Paladin Racing expected. In a moment was just about to have a 1-2-3 for the team. Here is Juan Angel Rosso, the race winner, as we saw also that Enzo Gianfratti took the win in TCR Trophy. Rosso won the race, Cardoso right in second, and Leonel Pernilla made a quick jump to third place to complete the podium, losing very little terrain to Cardoso. Santino Ballerini ended up in fourth, close to his first win. Pezzini in fifth, Reis in sixth, Rasetto in seventh, Gianfratti eighth in his debut ahead of Chiriano and Thiago Pernilla. Luis Ramirez could not finish the race, and still he was a lap ahead of Mariano Cotter, who completed the race but a lap down. Gian Antoni, Mariano Pernilla, and Nelson Piquet Jr. could not finish the race. Also celebrating the win. And here is celebration with his family. For you, Daddy says, little daughter. Oh, that's so beautiful. Been quickly taken to the TV interview. Cardoso must be really frustrated. He was about to battle for the win, but in the end he had Pernilla right on his back. What he needed was to be ahead of Pernilla for as many cars he could in order to reduce all the gap possible, but Pernilla finished right behind of him. So yes, he reduced the gap to Pernilla in the top, who is on the top of the standings,
Estamos
but
con
not
Juan
as much as he
Ángel Rosso,
wanted.
el ganador de la carrera
From the
número 2
winner.
aquí en OBERÁ. Colo, una carrera espectacular, hiciste todo bien.
Spectacular race
Sí, o
till the
sea,
end.
Santino también hizo todo bien. La verdad que sí, él venía
Santino
con
did
peor
everything
ritmo
right.
que yo, indudablemente se desgastó más el auto de él.
His car
Pero hizo todo muy
suffered
bien
more than mine.
y yo hablé por radio avisando de que bueno, que la idea era no perder la victoria para el equipo, me parece que era muy importante, pero que yo no iba a hacer ninguna maniobra de sobrepaso, la única forma de pasarlo era entrando a la recta. La vez antes del auto de seguridad me falló mucho el auto y no lo pude pasar, y después, bueno, después se dio. Él terminó cuarto, que es muy buen resultado, pero bueno, ¿no? La verdad que yo quería terminar así 1-2, pero bueno, se hizo muy difícil. Ya cuando tenía a Pedro atrás sabía que no era joda. Ya se me imaginé, tuve una vuelta atrás, se me tiró por fuera. Entonces, en donde vi la chance, lo paso a Santino porque frenábamos muy lejos en la 1. Y yo sabía que si yo iba con mi ritmo podía por lo menos hacerle esa distancia en el parcial 2, que era el único sector donde él se podía llegar a tirar. Y bueno, lo neutralicé y terminé la carga. La palabra del ganador en la carrera número 2 aquí en OBERÁ, el colo Juan Ángel Rosso. Lo tengo a Pedro Cardoso también, que terminó en la segunda ubicación. Vamos al podio igualmente.
But first we'll have a look at the podium. We'll see the podium. Here is our podium. Juan Ángel Rosso, Pedro Cardoso, Leonel Pernía.
De Agua que suba a entregar el premio al tercer puesto mencionado Leonel Pernía. Ahí tiene la tercera ubicación del trofeo, entrega Jorge Cel, coordinador general de Agua, Leo Pernía, a quien le damos un aplauso.
Trophy for Leonel Pernía. Placed in third.
Que suba al podio a entregarle el premio al segundo puesto a Pedro Cardoso, el actual campeón de la categoría que tiene.
Pedro Cardoso receives his trophy in second by the Automóvil Club Misiones presidents, Fernando Cortese. And the president of the Automobile Club of OBERÁ, Ricky Urrutia, will give the trophy for the winning team for Palladini Racing.
A quien también lo recibimos con un aplauso para que entregue el premio a Juan Ángel Rosso, el ganador de esta carrera número 2 del TCR South America, aquí en la ciudad de Oberá. Fuerte el aplauso para él. Y ahora sí, el momento de la celebración, el momento de levantar bien alto el trofeo y, por qué no, el champagne, el colo que ganó.
And there
La
is
segunda carrera, la felicidad de Juan Ángel Rosso, piloto cordobés, y el momento del champán, ahora sí, para celebrar lo que fue esta segunda carrera aquí en Oberá.
now the champagne is there. Juan Ángel Rosso, Pedro Cardoso, Leonel Pernía, our podium.
La carrera que nos regalaron
Race
todos
2.
los pilotos, todos los equipos, momento de la foto también ahora. Fotito del recuerdo. Paso del TCR aquí por la provincia de Misiones, la alegría de los pilotos de Leo Pernía y Pedro Cardoso y de Juan Ángel Rosso.
And all the celebrations unleashed.
Antes de la Copa Tokio vamos a entregar el premio al Driver of the Weekend, vaya Denicom, que es justamente al piloto que más puntos sumó este fin de semana, y se queda Leo Pernía en el podio porque va a recibir.
Leonel Pernía will be awarded the Driver of the Weekend trophy, considering he's the one that scored the most points.
Federico Putec que lo espera a Leo Pernía para que se lleve el premio Driver of the Weekend vaya Denicom. Fuerte el aplauso para él también, que está teniendo grandes resultados en el TCR.
Leonel Pernía here alongside the series president Federico Punteri. And here is the TCR trophy podium with the rookie Enzo Gianfratti in his debut, winning ahead of Adrián Siriano in second and Mariani Cotter in third. And here are our three members of the TCR podium in the trophy division.
Así que aprovechamos para movernos porque ya sabemos cómo viene la cosa. Tenemos un aplauso más ahí guardado para ellos para el momento del champán. Vamos,
Enzo Gianfratti winning in his first race in the series.
Y ahora sí, era obvio que se venía el champanazo. Las felicitaciones para los tres. Y gracias a ustedes también por un gran fin de semana que nos regalaron aquí en Oberá, a todo el público que se acercó,
our final
a todos
picture
los que
with the TCR
alentaron, a todos
trophy
los que nos
podium.
siguieron también desde casa.
Gianfratti giving away some caps.
Felicitaciones a la gente de Misiones, a la gente de OBERÁ. Ojalá nos reencontremos el año que viene con más acción del TCR de Sudamérica, Banco BRB, aquí de Misiones.
And here are the best actions of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for being with us. We are saying goodbye from OBERÁ. We'll head into the next round. And we'll come back again with round number 3 from San Juan Vilicom circuits in a few weeks. We'll head in May 10th and 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for being with us. My name is Francisco Aure. It's been a pleasure to be with you for another race of TCR South America. Thank you and see you soon.